Fellow Nigerians, good day. I want to welcome you to episode 5 of the series on a rescue mission for my nation, Nigeria. I'm Dr. David Umubuari. The title of this episode is A Wrong Electoral System, The Way Forward. In the past 2 episodes, we have discussed the electoral system of Nigeria, and we said that it is a wrong system that we have been using. We discussed the origins of our electoral system and the problems with the system. Then we said that Nigeria's electoral process needs a surgical operation. In those 2 episodes, we said that the presidential election of 2023 would have been one of the best in the country, but for some 3 factors that marred its credibility. We listed them as follows. 1, the BVAS that was used to accredit voters surprisingly was unable to upload the election results to the IREV. Number 2, the IREV was not available for viewing by the general public. And number 3, the nation had to wait for the INEC chairman, as it was always done with previous elections, to announce the winner. Then we noted that it was unreasonable to expect the over 200 million people of this great nation to wait on one individual to tell them the winner of the election they all participated in. We said it was a terrible and inconceivable aberration. So what is the way forward? This is what we want to consider in this episode. The way forward. The way forward is to find solutions to the 3 limiting factors we just mentioned. We shall now address them one after the other. The BVAS. A. The Bimodal Voter Accreditation System, BVAS, or by what other name it may be called in future, as an electronic device designed to read permanent voter cards, PVCs, and authenticate voters in order to prove that they are eligible to vote at a particular polling unit, is a very important equipment that should not be left to the electoral umpire alone. Its use must be approved, made compulsory, and legalized by the National Assembly of Nigeria. The effect of this is that any election conducted by the umpire without the use of the BVAS would be invalidated, with appropriate penalty for the head of the electoral umpire and his immediate assistants, as the National Assembly shall stipulate in the amended Act. B. The use of the BVAS, both for verification and uploading results to the electoral umpire's viewing portal in the presence of voters and or party agents, must be legalized and made compulsory, to the effect that if not so utilized, the election results will be invalidated. For every such invalidation, the umpire and his immediate assistant shall suffer certain penalties, as the Act shall stipulate. 2. The IREV. The election results viewing portal, which must be electronic and digital, must be calibrated to function real time. In the presidential election of 2023, it was called INEC Results Viewing, that is the IREV portal. The election results viewing portal, by whatever name it is going to be called in future, 1, must function real time. That is, it must display results as they are transmitted from the polling unit, just as a bank customer receives alerts for transactions in his account. B, must be downloadable by citizens so that they can follow the voting results in their personal devices as they are uploaded from the polling units. C, should be installed as large screens at suitable positions in every state capital on the advice of the state governor and on the at the headquarters of every local government area on the advice of the local government chairman. D, it must, along with other electronic devices such as the BVAS, be demonstrated before members of the National Assembly and at the town hall of every state capital in the nation before the election day. This approval will be obtained by a simple majority of members of the National Assembly. 3. The electoral umpire. The head of the electoral umpire does not need to hold any meeting to announce the election results, as everyone would already be aware of the winner and the runners-up. In view of this, the revised functions of the electoral umpire need to be spelled out as follows. A, to estimate the requirements and the costs of a forthcoming election and submit to the Auditor General of the Federation for onward presentation to the Senate for approval. B, to carry out research and determine improvements that must be made to the electoral process from time to time and seek approval from the National Assembly. C, to demonstrate electronic devices and processes to be used at elections before the National Assembly for approval. D, to delineate the federation in the case of presidential or NAS elections, or state in the case of a gubernatorial election, into polling segments and units subject to the approval of the House of Representatives. E, to appoint and retire election officers or operatives as and when necessary. F, to submit in writing a comprehensive report of any election conducted to the Senate for record purposes. I want to emphasize that, for record purposes, within 40 days of the conclusion of the election. Such reports must agree in every aspect with the data on the election results viewing portal. Such a report will be signed by the chairman and secretary of the electoral umpire, as well as the representatives of the political parties that participated in the election. Then F, we must mention this, that the number of political parties in the nation is too large. It's too large. How can you be having so many political parties? Some are relevant, many of them are irrelevant. Some of them have never won an election. So the number of political parties should be reduced. The National Assembly should empower the electoral umpire to reduce the number of political parties, given certain criteria, reduce them to 2 or 3. 4, name of the electoral umpire. After the post-mortem carried out on the electoral umpire, the new personality is now seen to be more of an agent assigned with a task that must meet with the approval and acceptance of the National Assembly, acting on behalf of the people of Nigeria. The umpire will therefore no longer be called a commission, but an agent. The name National Electoral Agency of Nigeria is suggested. The legislature and the executive can examine this suggestion and arrive at the name they deem fit. Conclusion. I have poured out my heart and my mind regarding the electoral imbroglio in my nation, Nigeria. I call on all my compatriots, senators, reps, and the presidency to examine my proposals and take necessary action. As I mentioned before, the recommendations proposed in the various episodes of this series will be forwarded by courier to all stakeholders in the Nigeria project. They include the president and the key officers of the presidency, the Senate president and the senators, the speaker and members of the House of Reps, the state governors, and the 774 local government chairmen of Nigeria. As I said before, it is quite an expensive exercise. If you are moved to support, you are encouraged to reach out through my contacts shown on the channel. My name is Dr. David, first son of Chief Umubuari Igberaise. Remember to tap the subscribe button so you can always be notified of subsequent episodes. Share and keep sharing. Your valuable comments are welcome. God bless you.